What up, Wildcats, and welcome back to Weekly Wildchat with the Daily Wildcat presented by UATV. I'm Danielle Fork, joined alongside Dominic Pachaco and Justin Spears.
Thank you.
Say what's up, guys.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It has been an interesting time since we've last had a show.
Yes.
Donald Trump has been elected president. Tony Romo lost his job at starting quarterback, and the Lakers are actually winning games. What the heck? What the heck is going on in this world?
Can I ask who put this Lakers thing on the script here?
I put this in the script. What a time to be alive.
What a time. It is just a crazy, crazy world we live in right now. But you know what? There is one thing that has not changed, and that is that Arizona football keeps losing games. And it's only getting worse and worse and worse. So tell me, guys, what should Arizona do at this point?
I think it's going to get a little bit worse this week against Oregon State. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, this is the toilet bowl for the Pac-12. Like, this is like the anti-Pac-12 championship. Literally one combined Pac-12 win. And that's because Oregon State only has one win. Arizona still has yet to win in conference. So, I mean, if you're Arizona, you have to look at this situation. You're going up to Corvallis, Oregon. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold. There's probably only going to be about 10,000 people there. I guarantee that. There's not going to be too many people in attendance. But, I mean, if you're Arizona and you've been discouraged by every team week after week after week, losing 69-7, then coming back at home, maybe this is the opportunity. Rich Rod gets a top 10/15 win against a team. Nah, Oregon came over and completely housed the Wildcats. So, I mean, what does Arizona have to do moving forward? Well, they kind of have to find a quarterback.
They have to find a quarterback, but that's looking on the next season and the even seasons after that in recruiting classes. It's just there's no easy solution this year for the Wildcats, and the fact of the reality is they're going to keep losing until they find a solution, and that solution isn't going to happen this year. Oregon State's been finding grooves on offense early in the games, and they've been able to put up enough points on somewhat decent defenses. And you saw them beat Washington State at home 35-31, and there's just the Wildcats don't really have a lot to hang with them this week.
Yeah. Just looking at this game, Oregon State, their starting quarterback, is out with meningitis. So, with that being said, they have a backup quarterback who we have not seen at all this year. So, just maybe,
Maybe a little bit.
Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. I have to say Arizona could actually potentially win.
You never know.
But at the same time, how many times have I given Arizona a chance? Yeah, this is the year the Wild. This is the game. This is the week that the Wildcats will win, and it never happens. Never happens. I really want to pick the Wildcats this week. Unfortunately, I can't.
They've been letting you down.
I mean, because we're the second to last week, and yet we still don't have a quarterback. You look at the depth chart, and it's Brandon Dawkins, big capital OR, or Anu Solomon.
Yep.
And every single week, we see three quarterbacks play. We see Anu Solomon, Brandon Dawkins, and Khalil Tate getting garbage minutes at the end of the game. It's just a sad situation because every week I go into this game thinking, oh, yeah, you know what? We're actually going to see three Arizona quarterbacks play and another Arizona L.
And Samaje at running back still.
Samaje Grant at running back, Shun Brown making probably two big plays down the field, and then that's it. That's all Arizona's offense. Brandon Dawkins.
I don't know where Trey Griffey is.
MIA. Driving himself to practice.
Yep.
I know this has been a topic for us every week. Who's starting a quarterback? And you have three choices, and we've knocked heads on it all year. But does it really matter who's going to start at quarterback for the Wildcats? I mean, at this point, there's just so many other holes that they have to fill. Why does it matter who's going to start? They're all going to play. So I don't see it factoring in enough to where, Khalil Tate's going to come in and he's going to go off, or Brandon Dawkins is going to make the difference, or Anu Solomon's finally going to turn around. It's just not going to happen if we're being real.
It's not. And honestly, I did not know. At the beginning of the season, our very first show, when we had this quarterback controversy conversation and you were picking...
Nobody won!
And
did we think we'd still be talking about it?
I did not still think we would be talking about it at this point
now?
in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are still talking about a quarterback controversy. And so I can only imagine how Rich Rod feels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also got to be feeling pretty good. We actually have a video clip of a four-star quarterback from San Diego Braxton Burmeister. And if you haven't seen this, this is Arizona's next quarterback. Just go ahead and let's go ahead and play that clip.
You sign. You will not.
It's rolling. Oh!
Trucked him.
Right in the end
Literally
zone.
trucked
At least you get another quarterback that can run.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, and watching him, he's breaking pretty much all of these San Diego passing records. He is like Mr. Quarterback of the Century in San Diego. And from watching him play, he kind of reminds me of Johnny Manziel. I'm serious. He's got a presence in the pocket. He could roll out. He can run, and he can lower the shoulder.
Yeah, lower the shoulder.
I mean, I don't think Rich Rod's going to encourage him lowering the shoulder when running the football, but that's pretty encouraging if you're Rich Rod, because that guy's about to come in and take everybody's job.
I do have a question for you guys, kind of off of it. How do you think Khalil Tate feels that his red shirt got burned, and now he's not getting anything but garbage minutes? Yeah,
he's going to transfer. Khalil Tate.
I've been saying that all year.
I've been wondering how you guys feel about that.
Khalil Tate's going to transfer. He's going to transfer to a program like Utah, where he can come in and maybe replace a guy like Troy Williams. Or I don't see any other school that he could possibly go to. Maybe go to the East Coast, play for, I don't know, Virginia Tech, because go to the ACC, go to play for NC State, because there's no way he's going to the SEC. There's no way. I mean, in the only Big Ten schools I could really see him playing for are Michigan, Ohio State, but even those guys are loaded at quarterback.
Oh, yeah,
so
we're
what's
loaded.
the point of going?
The
Big Ten is loaded. Let me tell you,
it's huge. Yeah, the kid has a ridiculous amount of sheer talent, and he's going to find success somewhere. It might not be at a Big Ten program or an SEC program, but he's going to start somewhere if he transfers, and he's going to get a lot of minutes. That's if he transfers. I'm thinking he will, because especially with him coming in, I don't see a lot for him here, especially for a try to already burns red shirt. He's not playing this year, so keep in mind he's not playing right now over Brandon Dawkins and Anu Solomon. So who are we going to get next year who he's going to be able to start over?
Uncle Rico.
Another good question I think to ask is our defense. There's all this hype at the beginning of the season about, new coordinator.
3-3-5 out of
our defense, blah, 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 all this stuff. How do you think people feel now? How do you think it's...
I mean, I didn't have really too high of expectations for the defense this year, simply because it is completely new. It's Marcel Yates says it's not a 4-2-5, but it is.
Yeah.
It is. That's the most the defensive fronts that I've seen. So the 4-2-5 defense being introduced, everybody was a student to the game. They're really just sitting back and just learning everything. So I didn't have too high of expectations for the defense, but that doesn't give them an excuse for next year. So I think at this point everybody's just looking for next year, which sucks. But
I'm glad you brought up Marcel Yates, because Rich Rod's starting to get a lot of heat. He's instantly on the hot seat for the job he's done this year, obviously. And how much blame do you put on guys like Marcel Yates and Rich Rod for the way this defense has performed and the way that the Wildcats have essentially collapsed as a program this year?
Yeah,
but
very true.
Anyways, let's do score predictions real quick.
So
Dom, you go
give me your
first.
score prediction.
I referenced it earlier. They beat Washington State 35-31 at home a couple weeks ago. I'm actually going with the same score for this week, 35-31 Oregon State. Like I said, there's not a lot of hope for Arizona. I know you guys were talking maybe this is the week that they turn it around and can pick up a W. If they are going to win 3 games this year, this would be the week to do it. But I don't see them having enough firepower out of the gate. I think Oregon State's going to hang with them all year. Who would have thought at the beginning of this year we would be discussing whether or not Arizona could handle with Oregon State football? We've gotten to that point.
Yeah, I have a little hope for Arizona, but not enough to give them the win. I think that both teams aren't going to show very much. I think it's going to be pretty close, but low scoring. I have OSU winning 21-17.
All right. Well,
here's the big one. What do you got?
I mean, I could totally see it ending up being 48-14 for Oregon State. I could see it getting 70-7 Oregon State. If Arizona were to lose by more than 2 possessions against Oregon State, they hit rock bottom. There's no coming.
Yeah.
If they're not already there,
there's no coming back from that.
There might not be anybody at the Thanksgiving game.
Yeah. So with that being said, there's going to be more ASU fans down here in Tucson than U of A fans.
Yep.
But with that being said, I got the Wildcats winning. Just playing. No, I got the.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I got Oregon State winning 24-20, and Corvallis, even with the backup quarterback, Oregon State's going to handle the business because Arizona sucks.
Well, there you have it. Even Justin didn't pick Arizona this week, so
I'm
that
sorry.
definitely
You
says
know-
something about the season.
You know you hit rock bottom when Justin's picking the
Picking the
against you.
opponent. Here we go. Well, don't go away. When we come back, we're talking Arizona basketball. Woo! Sorry, I was thinking. We're here, back. Welcome back. We're going to talk Arizona basketball, who is now 2-0
2-0
on the season. And without Alonzo Trier, they have actually been showing some brilliance, but they have had their lows. So I want you guys to tell me what you think is your personal best moment so far this season and your lowest point for the team this season so far.
I'll let you kick this off.
Thank you. The best thing about this season is the Finnish guy himself, Lauri Markkanen. I have to say, the hype around him, he was the very first Arizona commit for the Sean Miller freshman class this year. And with the best recruiting class Sean Miller's ever had, a lot of people didn't know where he would fit because there was just limited tape on him because he's from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
There's not quick access to guys like Kobi Simmons, guys like Rawle Alkins. So when I watched his tape, I was like, okay, this is cool and all, but he's also playing against the Euros. And as we all know, European ball versus American ball is kind of on two different levels.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm kind of skeptical about this guy. He's 7 feet tall. They say he has a nice jump shot, but really, how's that going to translate to the three-point line, which has even pushed it back in college ball? So I was like, where is he going to fit? But he is, without a doubt, Arizona's best player.
Easily.
Easily. And
question.
it's not even close.
Mm-mm.
You could say Kobi Simmons just because of his electricity that he brings off the bench. But, I mean, at this point, Lauri Markkanen, 7 feet tall.
Playing all around.
Yeah. And what was it? I forgot his 3-point stats against
CSU? Bakersfield?
Yeah, Bakersfield.
I don't remember.
Raleigh or Lauri?
Lowry.
No. I'm thinking about Raleigh right now. Lowry only had
Oh, Raleigh was
Lowry
draining.
only had 1 3-pointer. But seeing him
4 for 6.
and Raleigh was 4 for 6. But seeing Lauri Markkanen and where he can fit in the lineup, we even saw lineups where he was playing the 2. I've never seen a 7-foot shooting guard before, but since he could run the floor that well, and he runs the floor like a gazelle, he could.
Gazelle.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine if a draft
That much grace, huh?
a draft ran like a gazelle. That's what.
That's
Lauri Markkanen.
And it confuses the defense
Exactly.
easily. Nobody on the defense expects him to be the player that he is.
And he got 26 points against Cal State Bakersfield.
Yep.
Sounds like it's expected, but he just moved up to number 8 on Draft Express. So he is really working his way into being a top 5 pick.
Which is awesome.
That's how good Lauri Markkanen is. He's without a doubt my bright spot. My low spot probably has to be the rebounding and just the little details. They added in guys like Keanu Pinder because he's really an electric guy. He comes in off the bench, gets rebounds, gets steals, gets blocks. But in the past 2 games, against Michigan State, they tied with total rebounds. Cal State Bakersfield had more offensive rebounds than Arizona. They had more second chance points. And Cal State Bakersfield actually out-rebounded Arizona by 2. So the fact is that Arizona, against these lower division teams, or even against a team like Michigan State, when they won, they were still getting out-rebounded. And you want to know why? Because I have a picture of Dusan Ristic that these guys are going to pull up right now. Because look at the way Dusan Ristic brings down the ball. Look at the way he's like holding onto that ball. He looks like Harambe.
That's what Jesse our title last night. Harambe, this little baby in there.
He looks like Harambe.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's wrong with Arizona's rebounding, the bigs, because Dusan Ristic is bringing down the ball and hugging it like Harambe with the kid in the exhibit. And
that is so funny. I really do agree with you on Lauri Markkanen being the best player easily.
Without a doubt.
I do also, one of my other favorite best of the season is I love Raleigh. I think he is great, and I love his 3-point shooting. He has so much confidence.
He's a beast.
We'll
talk about that.
Yeah, he has so much confidence. And watching him against CSU Bakersfield, it was like pull up, pull up, pull up. And even if he missed it, he was still pulling up. And I like that in a player. And I like, because I remember we were talking about earlier in the, the show, like before, that he would be a good sixth man, but now they have him starting, and he's just, I don't know, I just think he's a good all-around player. Not as good as Lauri, obviously, but he still is an awesome asset to the team. Now, as for my low, I agree with you on little details. In the game with CSU Bakersfield, we missed so many little bunnies in jumpers. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. It's like our players are tall and they're right there under the basket, and we're missing layups, we're missing like little bunnies on the block, we're missing shots from the elbow. Whoa. And I just feel like those are small details, that those are shots that we should easily be finishing, especially since against a team like CSU Bakersfield. Yep. Because if you're gonna miss those little bunnies and layups and elbow shots against teams in the Pac-12, there's where you're gonna lose.
I mean, well, you also got to think, as Dom, we'll get to you. You also got to remember that a lot of these teams, every single team, even in Michigan State, they're undersized compared to Arizona. Yeah. So they changed up their defensive schemes. I noticed this with Chico State. Chico State invented the blueprint to beat Arizona. All you have to do is expose them in the 2-3 zone. Yep. Because you're undersized, and you have these athletes that are able to move around the perimeter, and they're constantly shifting because it's a 2-3 zone. Mm-hmm. The bigs can't get inside the paint. Mm-hmm. And that's why Dusan Ristic is only scoring 2 points a game. That's why Lauri Markkanen has to shoot outside jumpers. Chance Comanche, he's starting to kind of get in the mix, but even you still haven't even seen him produce. So all of Arizona's front court players are producing. Why? Because of 2-3 zone, all the undersized teams are exposing them.
I'll kick it off on what's my low point for Arizona, since you're talking about defense right now. It seems to be the kryptonite of Sean Miller every year, either shooting and defense. And our defense just hasn't been there this year. I know we have guys like Kadeem Allen who are doing it. Lauri Markkanen's kind of coming around, but our defense hasn't been up to the Sean Miller standard. It's not like it was with Mark Lyons. It's not like it was with Nick Johnson. So, it's starting to get better. It's coming around. Guys like Parker are stepping up. Lauri still actually has a long way to go on the defensive end, especially when Sean Miller stretches him to the small forward position. But in saying that, it's encouraging that Lauri's on the small guys right now, because when we're healthy, we're hopefully going to be able to move him back inside more often and have him play those 4 and 5 positions, and he'll be able to lock down on the big guys. The reason why the defense is struggling right now is because Lauri Markkanen's on the quicker, faster players, and he simply can't handle them. They get inside, they can either back down and then come out and pull away from them. So they're easy to get away from our defense right now. We're not playing lockdown Arizona defense that we're used to. The high point, and you guys have touched on it a little bit, the trio of freshmen right now are carrying the team. And guys like Kadeem Allen and who else got hurt at the beginning of the year?
Ray.
Oh, Ray Smith. Ray Smith. Injuries like that have made way for the freshmen to shine even more than we expected them to. So Lauri's really taken it off because he has to. He really is the real deal, and we expected him to be that way. But a guy who could be Sean Miller's best recruit is really coming in. He's able to shine because he's getting the minutes. Rawle Alkins is starting to get more playing time. He's been forced into the starting 5 because Kadeem's Allen out, and we have to play a small lineup. Yep. And Kobi Simmons is really starting to come into his own. He's a hot and cold shooter right now, but once he picks up the rhythm of college basketball, he's going to be just fine. He's going to start shooting well. I'm glad Danielle touched on Rawle Alkins, because I was huge on him coming into the year. I thought he could be the man to kind of lead this team this year, not Lauri. But when you look at Rawle, he's so physical, and he can be so dominant inside, and he can shoot the ball. And you see him come out and hit 4-6 from 3 like last game. Yeah. That is going to help Arizona so much, because he's going to be able to push that zone out. And that's kind of where the offense is going to struggle, where it usually does. When you push that 2-3 zone, we're going to have to shoot. So guys like Rawle Alkins, Kobi Simmons, even a little bit of PJC and Kadeem Allen, when he comes back, they're going to have to start making shots, and they're going to have to play offense for Arizona. And we're not going to be able to rely on Lauri and Dusan and Comanche inside. But in saying that, overall, pretty good. I mean, I like what I've seen the first couple weeks, especially without Alonzo Trier. Yeah. We keep talking like he's not going to come back. If he comes back, that'd help. People wouldn't be able to play zones against us if we shoot the way we should with a healthy lineup.
There you go. Well, this here now is going to be probably my favorite part of the show. We have Justin and Dom, who are both full of great knowledge.
I don't even know. What are we doing?
And they are going to have a great debate.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Kobi Simmons versus Rawle Alkins. That's all I'm saying, and I'm letting them go at it.
Who you taking? Who's most crucial to Arizona right now?
Most crucial to Arizona. Not the better player. Who's most crucial for Arizona to win games with such a thin roster? I'm going Kobi Simmons. You look at Rawle, and I just said how he can get inside, he can be the physical guy, and he can come out and he can shoot. But for that same reason. Kobi Simmons can shoot. He's a better shooter. Yes, Rawle can get inside, but Kobe's going to be a better outside shooter, and that's what we're going to need, especially when teams are playing zone. When we can't get the ball going inside, when guys like Lauri, Rawle, Dusan, Comanche have bad games and they struggle, Kobe's going to be the guy that we absolutely have to lean on. He's going to be right there with Kaneem Allen and Parker Jackson Cartwright too, shooting the ball, but he's going to be the man that we're going to go to hit shots. And we've already seen Sean Miller is obviously going to call on Kaneem Allen in late situations in the game, like we saw against the Spartans in Week 1. But in saying that, you're still going to have Kobi Simmons right there. He's going to be your number 2 guy, if not the number 1 guy at the end of the game, and he's going to have to step up and hit these big shots for us to compete with teams.
I am so disrespected right now. I feel so disrespected. He said...
This is the most calm debate I think I've ever had. You're taking offense to it.
It's Friday. You said Kobi Simmons was a better outside shooter when Rawle Alkins went 4 for 6 from 3-point against Cal State Bakersfield.
I understand that. It's one game. I don't see Rawle Alkins being I don't see him being the go-to shooter for the Wildcats all year. He can jump out, he can shoot, he can get hot, but I think when Kobi Simmons finds his rhythm in college basketball, he's going to be the man to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think Rawle with the Alonzo Trier situation, you know who. I feel like Alonzo Trier is Voldemort to Arizona basketball now.
It's for everyone but us.
Yeah.
But Alonzo Trier played the 3. He plays a small 4 position. When you take him out, he stands about 6'5", so you take out that size. So what do? You replace another guy who's 6'5". Kobi Simmons is around that same height, but he doesn't have the tangibles that Rawle Alkins has. I'm just saying tangibles, Kobi Simmons jumps higher. We'll get that out of the way.
He jumps very high.
45 inches.
Very high.
But Rawle Alkins, on the other hand, he's a big, physical guy from Brooklyn.
Let's not forget his dunk in the Red Blue games.
Yeah, he dunked over Sean Miller.
If we're basing this argument off what we did in the Red Blue games, then I might have to stop out.
I was just adding that in, can't forget that.
He did dunk on Sean Miller. That was cool. The way it happened was, do you guys know the story behind it? I won't get into it, but looking at that, it's kind of interesting.
But Rawle Alkins, he's big, he's physical, he's 6'4", 6'5", but in terms of playing small 4 position, and with Alonzo Trier being out, he fits the mold to be the small 4 because Ray Smith is out. I think Kobi Simmons will overall be the better player, but I just think in terms of where they fit, in terms of scheme and how they match up defensively, Rawle Alkins is going to be my go-to guy.
It's interesting you said that you think Kobe is going to be the better player, because that's why I brought up at the beginning of what I was saying. I think Rawle is going to be the better player. I think he's more versatile.
I think it's vice versa.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I love debates.
I picked Kobe because the offense that we're going to need him to produce. I think, especially without Trier, how far Kobe goes is how far we're going to go, because we need that shooting, and he's going to be that go-to shooter, him and Kaneem Allen. So I think Rawle's more versatile. You can move him around more and mix and match that you don't necessarily have the liberty with Kobi Simmons. Yeah. But I think Kobe is more important in the sense that we're going to need him to hit shots, and I think you go to Kobi Simmons before you go to Rawle Alkins, regardless of him going 4 for 6 against the SUB.
You gotta get buckets. Anyways, I'm out.
All right. Well, that was decent. I think it could have got a little more feisty, but that's all we have for basketball. And now, since we don't have a show on Thanksgiving, this is the perfect time for us to give thanks to the ones that affected us in 2016. So, Justin, start us off and tell us what you are thankful for.
Thankful for Harambe.
Dusan Ristic.
I'm thankful for Dusan Ristic. No, I'm actually thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful for coffee, because late at night, at the Daily Wildcat, production nights get a little bit hectic, and coffee is the fuel to our engine. And what else got to thank? Raising Cane's for making some great
Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to Ivan, who couldn't be here this week.
We're thankful for Ivan Leonard, who can't be here.
We love you.
Philly.
Hit him up, Ivan14 bro on Twitter.
I'm thankful for Bagel Talk. I'm thankful for Luke Walton. And I'm also thankful for everyone who supported us throughout the journey, like my family and you guys. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Most importantly, I am thankful for you guys and the entire staff at UATV and the Daily Wildcat who makes all this possible for us.
Shout out to Chris Delgado.
Shout out to Chris. He's the greatest tech director ever. Anyways, I'm also thankful for coffee as well, because that gets me going all day. I'm very, very thankful for my family. Shout out Ohio. Everyone in the 419.
Is that LeBron's area code?
No. No.
Okay.
The 419 is the village of
The
Gibsonburg.
bronze area.
And
code.
everyone there who has supported me, I am thankful for. I am also thankful for Cheez-Its. That's my favorite little snack.
Cheez-Its or goldfish?
Oh,
Well, she's
goldfish.
cheesing. You're on
I'm
goldfish.
Cheez-Its. I'm very thankful that it's college basketball season. It's my favorite time of the year. And
Stole mine.
what?
I
College
was
basketball?
gonna say the college basketball. It's back.
And I'm just thankful that we are here every day, having fun and getting a great education at the University of Arizona.
Well, I'm thankful for you guys. This guy over here, Justin, you don't see how much work he does off the camera. He does it all for us, Wildchat, UATV, and Camp Radio. So I'm definitely thankful for Justin, the hard work he puts into this place. We wouldn't be here without him. Thankful for Danielle, too. The show wouldn't be what it is without her. Thankful for coffee. I think we can all agree on that. There's coffee machines in the Daily Wildcat. We got like 5 coffee makers here. We got to bust those out.
Yeah, we do.
We got to bust those out.
It's that time of year.
Thankful for Ivan too. He's not here, but no, I mean the staff that I get to work with every day. You guys are the best, and I mean I wouldn't be able to do what I do without you guys putting in your work. So I appreciate you guys.
Woo!
Good stuff.
Let us know what you're thankful for. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. Is that all? Is that all?
Are you hitting another water bottle?
No.
Happy
Yeah, let's try the water bottle.
Thanksgiving!
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving, guys.
See ya.
Thanksgiving!